Hello and welcome back to this breaking news update on stressors in the cell. I'm Mike Crow.
And I'm Kristen Spear, and we're here to give you the most important news about the bacterial cell.
Alright Kristen, let's get right to it. The cell has suffered some dramatic stressors recently. It's quite alarming because there have been a total of 5 events affecting our strong cell. But don't worry, it has many ways to respond and get back on its feet.
Now to Zishan.
The first stressor happened a couple months ago due to a radiation outbreak. A basic understanding of radiation can provide a better insight into how cancer treatment might function or how radioactive carcinogens can affect the body. In order for it to have an effect on the body, it has to reach the cell's ionizing energy, which is the energy needed to liberate an electron. When a cell is exposed to this ionizing radiation, the ATM protein kinase activity is triggered. This causes the body to enter a cell cycle arrest, repair the affected DNA, and destruct the affected cells. Pausing the cell cycle gives time for any damage from the radiation to be repaired and prevents the damaged cell from replicating. Cells will get rid of damaged DNA with what is known as the apoptotic response. The apoptotic response is essentially the body's programmed cell death that uses the protein-degrading enzyme caspase.
And now for a quick weather report that goes along with the news of our second stressor. As you can see, temperature changes have been pretty extreme lately, as our cell is a mesophile and grows in a wide range of approximately 15 to 40 degrees Celsius. The temperatures have been as high as 70 degrees for a couple of weeks now. Since our cell is not a thermophile, whose typical growth range is 40 to 75 degrees Celsius, the temperature has been a real challenge for the compartments and organelles. Even more, we're expecting the temperature to not dip into the 30s for the next couple of days. For the cyclotrophs that have a typical growth range between 0 and 30 degrees Celsius, this won't be a problem. However, we'll have to keep an eye on the cell with the extreme weather lately.
Thanks, Katie. And now we're going to go to our roving reporter Abigail in the mitochondria of the cell for a special stress report.
Hello, thank you guys. One of the stressors that has been affecting the cell as of late is something that all cells should be aware of and take precautions for. This menace is pH. When the concentration of hydrogen ions, more specifically hydronium ions, is too high, the cell's macromolecular structures are affected. This limits growth and can cause very much harm to the cell. There are multiple ranges that a cell can tolerate, but growth can only happen in certain pH values. The cell we are referring to is a neutrophile, which refers to pH between 5 and 8. It has been subjected to extremely acidic conditions that have affected the cell's enzymes and proteins. If the cell was an alkalophile, who loves pHs between 9 and 11, then it would still have environmental stress. But if it was an acidophile, who prefers pH 0 to 5, then it would love the conditions above. The best way to protect themselves is for a cell to have a stress response to times that are less than ideal and can cause stress to the cell. The cell is able to the amount of proteins needed to maintain the pH homeostasis and protect cell constituents. In some specific cases, circulations of protons in and out of the cell can maintain homeostasis as well. It is important to know that many mechanisms of a cell and how it protects itself from stress and prevents itself from dying. Now back to the station.
Our last stressor that we've been keeping an eye on is those pesky humans. Recently, they've been doing some striking damage to our homes. All they seem to care about is having their perfectly manicured lawns and golf courses. All those pesticides and fertilizers used on yards and crops have been altering the world we live in, and even causing some other animal species to go extinct, reducing our host range. We need our biodiversity to live, and the humans have been altering the chemical and nutrient components of our landscapes. However, on a more positive note, global warming may be some good news for our extremophile friends out there.
Sounds like there's a lot to stress about today. Thank you for that report, and thank you for tuning in for the breaking news update, Stressors in the Cell.